Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. I know I'm a little late to the game here in terms of providing some information, feedback, comments on the new eBay authentication system, but I got a message in my eBay app from eBay notifying me that they have now reduced the threshold for their authentication process from $750 down to $500 cards and higher. So I thought I would do a video here. I do have a few cards to show off here at the end here, but just give some general thoughts on the authentication process from my end. Honestly, at this point, I really don't have a horse in the race. I'm not currently in the market to buy cards off of eBay that are above $500. I'm usually in that $200 or less price point. Anything higher than that is most likely I'm going to be buying in person at, say, like the National or something like that. So these are just my general thoughts. Again, it doesn't really impact me at this point, although some of my comments here about the future of this authentication process may impact me at some point in the future. As I mentioned, it has now dropped down to the $500 level. From what I understand, the authentication process was announced sometime in late January, and I thought the goal was sometime by summertime they would be reducing the threshold down to $250. Well, it hasn't even been a month yet, and they've already reduced it down to $500. So does that mean that we're going to see that $250 threshold be reached in March? I'm not sure. To me, it just seems a little quick that they're dropping the price point on the authentication process from $750 down to $500. I was watching a video from Because I'm Carlos, and he highlighted someone who did I don't know if it was a video or just a post showing a card that he received that, because of the additional mailing process when he received it from eBay, the card had come out of the penny sleeve. It was still within the card saver because the card saver was encased in a plastic wrapping and stuff. So the card didn't completely fall out, but it was clearly outside of the penny sleeve. So my thinking is, and from my understanding, this wasn't a single example, that there are other examples out there that people have said that getting it in the mail, whether the packaging or whatever, just by the nature of it being in a card saver, has the card has become loose within the packaging there. And to me, that's something that eBay needs to work on quality control before they start reducing the price point. Now, maybe at the $750 level, they weren't getting a lot of cards to authenticate. Again, right now, they are not doing any graded cards or cards with autographs or memorabilia, jersey patches, that type of thing. It's basically base cards. So I don't know how many ungraded high-end cards are being sold on eBay. Me personally, if I'm spending any decent amount of money on a card, I would most likely be buying it graded. That's just me. There's some out there that don't like the whole grading process, and so all they do is buy raw, and maybe they find a nice example that they want to submit to get graded through their particular favorite grading company and stuff like that. So maybe eBay saw that the volume that they were receiving was pretty low. They were able to handle the capacity and decided, hey, let's drop it down right away because we can handle the volume right now, and we think we can handle the volume at $500. I don't know, maybe. But to me, whenever you roll out something new, you want to make sure you're doing things right before you start increasing volume and things like that. But we'll see if there are more quality control complaints now that there will be more buyers receiving these authenticated cards through the eBay process. But I thought I would just go through some of the FAQs on their website. I think some of the stuff may have updated. Maybe it's some of the same, but just a couple things caught my eye on these FAQs that just want to give my thoughts and opinion on. As I mentioned, right now, it's $500 and above. It's not stated within their FAQs that they're going to be going down to $250 and when. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they're just not going to stop at $250. I don't know. My guess is if this is working out for them, they may drop it below $250, and that's potentially where my purchases may be impacted by this authentication process. Who knows? At some point, it may get down to $50. I don't know. But again, right now they're not doing graded cards. We'll see when that starts opening up and they start authenticating graded cards, which I'm still not sure exactly the point of that. I mean, you already have sort of the initial authentication from the grading company. Now, I know they're not perfect and there have been fakes out there, and that's a whole another separate video, and there are other videos out there that talk about fake slabs and all that stuff. But to have an authentication, another authentication process of an authenticator already, not sure what added value that would give, but I have another comment on that later. But again, they're not doing graded cards or autograph or like game used memorabilia cards. Let's see here. How long will the authentication process take? I guess they say 1 to 2 business days. So it's, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much of an inconvenience. I know personally when I get a card on eBay, I want to get it as soon as possible. So delaying it a couple days, I guess isn't the worst thing, especially if you are in favor of this authentication process. There's obviously tracking. Now, is signature confirmation required upon delivery? And it says only for cards $500 and above, which is everything. So it's not like, oh, well, only for $1,000. So they dropped the threshold to 500, and it says, is signature confirmation required only for cards 500 and above? Well, that means everything. So looks like everything that goes through the authentication process is going to require signature confirmation when you get it. Well, I know for me, I'm not always home when the mail comes. So you have an extra 2 or 3 day business day delay in getting your card. And then if I'm not home when the mail comes and I'm not there to sign, usually when that happens, I get a little sticky on the door or something like that saying, hey, sorry, we missed you. We'll try again tomorrow, or you can come and get it at the post office. Well, there's another day, even if I'm able to, throughout my work day, to get to the post office in time to sign for the card. And so it may even be a few more days for me if signature is required to get the card. So again, I understand you're dealing with a high dollar value item. And again, I don't get a lot of these packages, so I can't remember the last time I had to sign for a card that I purchased. But it happens, and I guess, again, for those that want super security, and I guess eBay does that to cover themselves, they want the signature confirmation upon delivery. Let's see, what was the other thing here? Yes, okay. Will I be charged a fee for authenticity guarantee? No, through the authenticity guarantee service, eBay covers the cost of authentication and tracked shipping from the authentication facility to you for a limited time. Now, I always thought, and other people I think have commented on this, I can't believe that at some point eBay is not going to start charging for this fee, because they're engaged with I forget who is doing a CGC trading cards. They're certified sports guarantee. They're the authenticating company. I can't believe they want to do all that work for free. So someone's either eBay's paying CSG because CSG doesn't want to do it for free. Well, eBay's not going to be absorbing that cost for a long period of time. So for a limited time, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if by summer or maybe when they get to that $250 threshold, they start saying, okay, now there's going to be a fee to it because the volume is such that we need to be compensated. So that adds to now the shipping cost, the tax that you're going to have to pay on eBay, and the authentication process. And is it going to be a flat fee? Is it going to be tiered based on the price or the value of the card? Sort of like PSA does with their grading. Oh, it's this fee, but then if it goes higher, there's a surcharge, or it's based on the value that their grading is based on the value of the card. To me, I can understand a higher fee sort of on the grading side for higher value cards, although to me, looking at a card and grading it, one card from another card should be the same process, regardless of the value of the card. But that's, again, another discussion. I don't want to get on that tangent. So to authenticate a card, to me, it's the same process no matter what card you're looking at, no matter what value that card may have. So to me, if and probably when they institute a fee, hopefully it's just a flat nominal fee. But again, that's going to be another, by buying a card off of eBay, that's going to be another fee that you're going to have to pay. Or if it's not a fee that the buyer pays, that it's a listing fee that the seller has to pay. Well, now they're going to be jacking up their price or what they need to get for the card to compensate for that fee. So it could lead to, increased costs for those higher end cards. And of course they say, hey, can you opt out? And of course they say no. So it's something that, hey, you buy something off of eBay, if you buy a card $500 or higher, you got to go through the service. So again, it's not going to impact me at this point. If it gets to the point where it is impacting me, I don't know, depending on the fees and all that stuff, it's probably one of those things where I'll just say, okay, hey, that's one of the costs, time, money, cost of buying cards off of eBay. I don't know if I'll not buy cards on eBay, but it may force me to I've never purchased anything off of any Facebook groups or I've bought a few cards from Four Sharp Corners. Maybe I'll look at alternatives a little bit more than I do now. The other thing that just I'm trying to get my head around is the packaging. Now, again, from that one example that I saw on Because I'm Carlos's video, cards in a penny sleeve within a Card Saver 1 and then sealed in a plastic sleeve with a tamper-proof sticker and a QR code, I think, on the back. Now, obviously, if you're a seller looking to resell or if you're buying it and looking to flip it or whatever, you probably want to have that stuff intact to maybe try to get maybe some premium from it, or just to show that, hey, this is an authentic raw card. Again, we'll see what they do with the graded cards and how they present it, but my guess is the same thing, is that the graded card will be in some sort of sleeve, the tamper-proof seal, and a QR code. Well, to me, if I'm buying a high-end raw card, I wouldn't necessarily want to just keep it in a Card Saver 1. I mean, they're somewhat sturdy, but they're not completely sturdy. You can bend them. To me, I would think that, now again, some of these buyers may just take that card then and ship it off to eBay or SGC or PSA or SGC because they want to get the card graded. Okay, they know it's authentic. Now they want to send it off to get it graded. But if you're not interested in grading that card, to me, if it's a nice high-end card, I'm going to want to put it in at least a top loader, if not a mag holder. Or to do that, you have to take it out, of that tamper-proof seal. Okay, well, now you have a card saver with this information, but the raw card has now been separated from that. So you can't put the two together and say, hey, see, these go together, because the raw card's the raw card. You can no longer tie it to that authentication process. For me, if I get a graded card, depending on where that tamper-proof seal is and the QR code, if it's over the card, I don't want to have that as how I display that card or how I have that card, because I say I can't see the full back of it or enjoy the full card. So I don't know if I would keep it in that sealed sleeve, or whether I would want to rip it out and say, well, okay, I know I'm not going to resell it. I'll take it out and throw it away and put it in a clear sleeve for my collection. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Again, I see the importance, obviously, of just like any, say, a JSA, PSA, authentic autograph. You want to have that sticker on the item to show that that piece there was actually authenticated by PSA DNA or JSA. So I understand wanting to seal the card in that sleeve and have it sealed and all that stuff to show that, yeah, this is the actual card that was authenticated. But for my collection purposes, I don't know if I would want that stuff on it. So I don't know. I'm still wrapping my head around that aspect of it. But those are my thoughts on it. I think the way things are going, again, definitely we're going to hit that $250 mark before the middle of the year. I think at some point, maybe at that $250 mark, they're going to start instituting a fee. We'll see what that fee is. And I just have to believe that they're not going to stop at $250, especially if they start making money charging a fee at the $250 level. They're going to want to increase their revenues. Hey, I mean, they're in business to make money, right? So again, I see them dropping it below $250 and instituting a fee, and we'll just see how things go. We'll see how quality control, hopefully it improves as they do more cards. Again, Carlos mentioned in his video that everyone, they could authenticate 10,000 cards, and if 100 have issues and people complain about them, that's all you hear. All you hear about is the bad stuff and the bad quality control, where 98% of their cards arrive fine, no issues, no problems. But obviously, the more volume, you're going to get those that have some issue with the extra shipping, something got damaged. Yeah, there is a return policy. What if my card comes damaged? You never want a damaged card in the mail. Whenever I get an envelope or a package and I see that there's a little thumb break in the bubble wrapping, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope the card wasn't damaged and all that stuff. You never want to get a damaged card in the mail. Sometimes it's unavoidable, things happen. But again, you're adding to another level of shipping. So it's not just coming from the seller to you, it's seller to eBay, eBay to you. So there's 2 times it's going through the mail. You never know what's going to happen in the mail. So there's more chance that something at the end product that I get as a buyer, the odds increase that something may happen. Now, again, it may not be eBay's fault. It may be the post office's fault. But you go through this whole process, and if it's because of that shipping from eBay to you that the card got damaged, you're not going to be happy. Yeah, you can return it for your money, but like me, I'd rather have the card than my money back, because if it's a rare card, I may not get an opportunity to buy that card again or for that price that I got it for. So, All right, with that, let me know your comments on eBay reducing it already from 750 down to 500. Do you think they're going to be charging a fee? When? And do you think it's going to go below $250 a card? So with that, I do have 3 cards to show off, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show you my latest pickups. Okay, I have 2 Topps short print image variations of Hall of Famers to show off, and then a vintage card that I picked up toward my Hall of Fame player run or collection. The first short print I have is from 2018, and this is the first one I have of this particular player. This may be the only short print image variation that I recall from my checklist, and it is Trevor Hoffman. Looks like he's maybe warming up before a game. I'm not sure. It looks like he may be in the bullpen there. Not quite sure which stadium, whether that's in San Diego or not. Looks maybe like an away uniform. So not sure what stadium that may be in, but he looks to be in the bullpen. And again, with 2018 cards, it doesn't show their full career stats, unfortunately. But yeah. First card of Trevor Hoffman. And the next one is a really cool image. This is from 2021 Topps, and it is of Cal Ripken. Nice smiling image there. And this does have his full career stats, so you can take a look at that. Look at all those games. 160, 162, 161, 162. Strikes shortened season in 94. Only 112 games, but he played in all of them. Finished with a 96 career WAR. I think slightly higher than Wade Boggs. I think Boggs is at 91, I want to say. But anyway, there's the Cal Ripken. And the last one, I had mentioned in previous videos that it's been hard for me to find some 1977 Topps Hall of Famers. I would prefer, if I can, for most of them. Now, maybe not the key rookies of Bruce Sutter and Andre Dawson, to try to get them in a 7. I mean, to me, I have a hard time in my mind thinking that 1977 is that old, but it is, okay? But in terms of vintage, it's not from 1980 to 77, it's not that old. So in my mind, I'm thinking I should be able to find PSA 7 copies that don't break the bank. But it's been difficult for some of these. Some of them, I don't know, I can't justify the price, even though they're not, some of them aren't outrageous. It just seems that, I don't know, they just seem a little bit too high for a 7 from 1977. But I did manage to find one, and it's very well centered. It's the 1977 Willie McCovey in a 7. Been looking for this one for a while. I've seen some 8s that, again, I to pay $45 or so for an 8, of nothing against Willie McCovey, but I couldn't justify spending that much. So I think I got this one for, oh boy, I want to say it was maybe around $20. And of course, then you had the shipping and tax and all that stuff. But I think it was around 20. So it's the surface. There's a few like ink, very very faint, black ink mark from the printing process. But unless you hold it up really close, can't really tell. Well centered card. Again, I think the corners, that top right corner there has a little bit of a ding to it. Again, corners don't matter that much to me. The back is nice and clean. Really like the back there. So I think with McCovey now, I think I have his 75. I don't have his 76, but I have his 77, 78, 79, and 80, I'm pretty sure. So again, just slowly building on some of these player runs, but this is another 77 pickup. Still have lots to go with the 77s. Again, that's been really, really slow for me, but I'm always looking at opportunities to pick up some 77s overall. I think it's a nice, clean design. Maybe not overall one of my favorite designs, But they have some pretty cool images for the 77 Topps. So there you go. Again, let me know your thoughts about this whole eBay authentication process. Let me know what you think of my pickups. If you enjoyed the video, would really appreciate a thumbs up. That's all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.